sometimes after falling asleep, I feel like something really bad is going to happen. Like there is an evil entity inside the room that is slowly coming closer, and I can feel it, but I cannot move. I sometimes cannot breathe. I cannot scream, and the evil comes closer and seems to want me to do something really bad to me and slowly pulls me out of bed, and I cannot move. I see my room, I can see my partner, but I can't wake them up. I am super scared and I want to get out of the situation, but I don't know how to. And this is totally self-diagnosed, but this is sleep paralysis, which by now is thankfully pretty good documented on Wikipedia. The first time I got one of those episodes was in college and it wasn't documented. I couldn't find a lot of information about it, but now I know it's like normal. A lot of people have it. But for a really long time, I struggled with this and I tried to find a solution. And I just wanted to use this video to share what didn't work and what worked. When I was in college, this happened to me almost every other night. And it got me really scared because I got scared of falling asleep because I knew this could happen. And then I started to document it all in a little notebook that I had. And then it turned out that it happened every other night and mostly multiple times per night right after falling asleep. And this is how it still happens to me. It's mostly right after I fall asleep or when I'm on my way to falling asleep. So the consensus of why this seems to happen is that your brain basically goes into the different sleep phases in the wrong order. So your brain already shuts off all of your motor function while your brain is still pretty active, which is also why you can see the room. And then your brain is triggering something called threat hypervigilance, which tells your brain that something really bad is going to happen, and you're basically in a state of really bad anxiety or even panic because your brain notices that the body cannot move. It also feels like you cannot control your own breathing, and that just triggers a reaction in your body and tells you something is really, really wrong. And that can lead to seeing demons or other scary things, or just having this feeling that something really bad is going to happen and that just something is terrifying and wrong, and you're just in a state of pure fear. When I was younger, I tried to solve this problem with different approaches. They all didn't work. So a lot of people that I talked to that had similar experiences, or just friends that wanted to help, gave me advice like, why don't you try lucid dreaming? Just learn how to lucid dream, and this is going to go away, because when you control your dream, you also don't have to be afraid of it anymore. I tried this for years, and at this point I can do some type of lucid dreaming, but not when I have sleep paralysis. It just doesn't work. I know now also that I am in one. I can already recognize this when I'm in that state, but it is very limited in how it helps me to feel better. Sometimes it helps and I get a little bit more relaxed, but sometimes I'm just really afraid, and it doesn't really help to know and being conscious about, oh, this is just happening to me. Another thing that a lot of people say, and it's also a lot of people on the internet say, that just don't sleep on the back, because you can see it in a lot of imagery from sleep paralysis, like on this image here, is that some bad creature is like sitting on your chest, or you feel more vulnerable when you sleep on your back. I tried this. I tried to sleep on my side, on my stomach, but it doesn't really help. It doesn't really prevent it. Most of the time nowadays, it happens when I fall asleep on the side. So this tip was never really useful for me. What actually worked for me is a very simple thing, and it's the boring thing, and it's just normal sleep hygiene. And for me, the big unlock was just falling asleep at the same time every day, or roughly the same time every day. And what that means is just you pick a time that you want to fall asleep, which also means you're just going to pick a time when you're going to wake up again, which is how you should think about it. So think about how you want to wake up, and then just calculate backwards what it means when you should go to sleep. and then really go to bed at that time, try to like lights off at that time and try to sleep. It doesn't have to be super precise. I always give my time like myself a 45-minute window in both directions. So for me, it's 10:30, which means I can go to bed between 9:30 and 11:30, and that basically cures it. When I do that regularly, I don't have it at all. But then when I have a one night out, going clubbing, or just staying awake late with friends, it comes back like clockwork. Not on the same day, but the day after and the day after. It takes a while to get back into that sleep rhythm. So all I had to do was to go to sleep at 10:30, as boring as it sounds. That just really helped. Going to bed at the same time is not easy, especially when you sleep in bed with another person. So I had to explain this to my partner, but my partner is now supporting me with this, and she also goes to sleep with me at the same time. She does that because she's also very afraid of it, because when I sleep next to her and I start shaking and sometimes also making loud noises, she gets really afraid. Whenever she notices, she shakes me up and wakes me up, which helps me. I can feel that even when I'm having the episode, I can feel her support, and she's helping me get out of that situation. But she's scared, and that's why she's helping me to go to sleep at the same time. When I'm in that situation and I have no help, I also found a trick that helps for me every time. It is really hard and it uses a lot of my strength. It sounds a little bit ridiculous, but basically, I told you, sleep paralysis feels like you cannot move. That is true. But sometimes I can wiggle my head a little bit. And when I start to wiggle my head, it is really hard. I need to really focus, and it feels like so hard to wiggle my head. But it is the only thing that I can actually move, because everything else is completely dead. I cannot move my arms, I cannot move my feet. But when I wiggle my head for long enough, I can try to get out of the situation. So when I feel something really, really scary is going to happen during an episode, I close my eyes. I try to close my eyes so I don't see the evil coming. And then I just shake my head like there's no tomorrow. And then when I wake up, my head is actually still shaking, and my girlfriend is also really scared about that. But that always gets me out of that situation immediately. So I hope this little video will help some people that are in the same situation. The big takeaways are: go to sleep at roughly the same time every bed and do it every day. And if you cannot get out of it, try wiggling your head. I wish you the best of luck.